Good morning, Badass. This is Coach Joe from Summit Endurance Academy here with our rad new camera that looks, wow. That's high def right there. So, today I wanted to talk a little bit about life's effect on training, okay? And the big takeaway here, I'll give it to you right now. Here's your spoiler. Training does not happen in isolation. It just doesn't. You want it to, right? But if the rest of your life is a junk show, your training is going to be a junk show. And that's not a judgment. That's, you know, I have a couple athletes who came to me recently who are like, oh, I just had really shitty race results. I'm like, well, what's going on? They're like, well, I feel like training went okay. I was kind of lacking some motivation and missed some key sessions. I'm like, okay, well, what's going on with all this? They're like, well, I've had this job for like 10 years. One athlete's like, I've had this career for like 10 years, and I'm realizing now that I need to entirely change careers, and it's been really stressing me out, and I've been just super unhappy and feeling isolated. And I'm like, well, no shit, your training's going poorly and your race didn't go well. Training does not happen in isolation. You can't just, all of the chemicals that are rolling through your brain and your body when you exercise are often pretty similar to the ones that like we have a stress response. And that stress response in some ways doesn't give a fuck whether it's your brain that's working overtime or your body that's working overtime. And so those will affect each other. Get your life in order to have the best training. Now, sometimes life can't be in order, right? Like there are bigger priorities than training. So when that happens, training needs to play second fiddle. First and foremost, with most athletes, you need to actually decrease the intensity of training. You might be able to still handle a fairly high load, but you have to drop, the intensity sessions have to kind of come out of that. Two, if that, some athletes, and I am not one of these, some athletes can use training as a stress release. And so going super hard works. That doesn't always though. Most of the time you need to decrease certainly the intensity and maybe even decrease the volume a little bit while you, and take that energy and make sure that the rest of your life is dialed, and then come back to training. If you're still training some, you aren't going to lose a whole lot, so don't worry about it, but make sure that life stuff is your priority. Hey, training doesn't happen in isolation. Have a good day.